At Jesus' transfiguration, we get a glimpse of Jesus in all of his glory. We get a glimpse of Jesus even at the second coming, when he's not coming as a carpenter, but he's coming as a king riding a white horse with maybe a sweet tattoo on his thigh, and a sword's coming from his mouth. And at the end, when we have a big battle, we're all there and we're stacked against Satan's armies. It says Jesus will open his mouth and a sword will come from it and kill everyone. I don't think it's like Jesus opens his mouth and it's this magical Harry Potter thing to where swords start coming out and they go and kill everyone. Jesus is going to speak and it will be over. Jesus is not a hippie. We like to paint him kind of like that because we see in the gospel accounts Jesus is kind, is compassionate, is loving, is forgiving, and all of that is completely true. But Jesus came in weakness. He came and humbled himself, even humbled himself to the point of going to a cross, and he did that to accomplish his purpose. He did that to redeem you and me. He did that because he met us on our level. He was tempted in every way as we are, yet without sin, so that he could be a sympathetic high priest. But Jesus is not a hippie. Jesus isn't walking around just going, peace, man. Jesus is the judge of the living and the dead. Jesus is the true king. Jesus is the true prophet. Jesus will kick your butt. But he's not a hippie. We can't dismiss him as that. When Jesus later reveals himself to the Apostle John, John is on this mountain of transfiguration, sees Jesus transfigured, and then later, some scholars believe he's maybe 100 years old. He's exiled to this island called Patmos, and it's on the Lord's Day, he says, which we believe is Sunday then, because this is after the resurrection. John's sitting there just reading his Bible, praying, singing, I'm sure, and then Jesus appears behind him. And John gets to see Jesus. This is at the beginning of the book of Revelation. Jesus reveals things to him about the churches at the time and then how things are going to happen in the end times. But John gets to see Jesus, and this is the way that he describes him. Imagine people, John, you got to see the resurrected Christ glorified. He came back again and revealed some more things to you? Yeah. What did he look like? What did his hair look like? The hairs of his head were white. Like wool. No? Like snow. What did his eyes look like? His eyes were like a flame of fire. Really? What did his feet look like? His feet were like burnished bronze, refined in a furnace. What was his voice like, John? What did it sound like when Jesus talked to you? His voice was like the sound of many rushing waters. John pretty much goes to the extremes of everything that he can. This is the Holy Spirit's revealing this to John, and he's authoritative in his writing of this, but this is John's way that he can explain it. How white was his hair? Let me think of the whitest things I can think of. How powerful were his eyes? Like flames of fire. You see all the ways that he goes. He goes to the extremes. You can't think of anything more extreme than that. Like the sound of many rushing waters. It was roaring. This is Jesus. This is glorious Jesus, the victorious King who chose to humble himself to redeem us crazy sinners. He's alive. He is ruling. He is reigning. And he will one day judge the living and the dead. This is the Jesus we need to have in our mind. Yes, he came humbly, but he is at the right hand of the Father, ruling and reigning over all. He is preeminent. This is the Jesus we need to have a better view of.